Join us for another episode where real men have real conversations about leadership, relationship, morality, and dominion. Welcome to Mancode.
Well, hello, viewing audience. I'd like to thank you for joining us for season 2 of the Mancode Conversation. I'd like to thank you because we are excited about this new season coming up. We have a lot of good conversations lined up, but again, the Mancode Conversation is something that can not only be had here with us, but we want this to continue out into your world. So as you are watching our video, we want you to definitely like it. We want you to subscribe to our channel, and we want you to share this out. Because again, the things we bring up here, this is life. So we want everybody to do life together, join in on this, and keep the conversation flowing. But before I go further, I'd like to introduce myself and the other gentlemen in the group. My name is Jonathan Russell. Thank you for joining in, and everybody go around and take a shot, letting everybody know who you are.
Well, I'm Malcolm Crawford. Glad to be back for season 2, man. We're excited about what's going to take place. So, hey, share, tell your friends. Don't want to miss it. It's going to be a great year.
What's up, everybody? I'm Austin. I'm glad the Mancode crew renewed my contract for a second season. Haven't got the paycheck yet, but I'm excited to be back for a second season. Excited to be back, man. Definitely looking forward to more conversation, more fellowship, and more accountability amongst men, man. So I'm excited for season 2.
Okay, I'm Gary Fant, and I'm proud to be and glad to be part of this Mancode group of well-managed and well-groomed authorities of the Bible.
Oh man, you're too kind.
Right.
My name is Daniel Lewis. Feels good to be back. And Austin, that check is in the mail, man. Just keep looking for it.
Cool.
Well, I do want to say this. If Austin wasn't getting renewed, I wasn't coming back. We're a package deal.
I said they was gonna Pastor Malcolm was gonna pull a Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
I was just about to crack that one, y'all, and not that anymore. That's all right. Hey, I'm glad y'all are here. Again, I don't know if anybody's tuned in to our season 1. We definitely just say go back. If you just want to get caught up, if you haven't watched us before, this is your first time checking out the Mancode, go back and watch season 1. Get an idea of who we are, our field, what we vibe with, and definitely we know you're gonna like it. So again, we just want to thank you for just tuning in. This is something that we just want to bring to you. You encourage us as much as we encourage you. So let's get this going. But one thing I think about in coming into today's conversation, I think about the Mancode, and I think about what the Mancode is, and I think about our reason for being the Mancode. And really the idea behind that, when you look at what we are and what we represent leadership, relationship, morality, and dominion. But one thing that's key about all 4 of those elements, you can't do them by yourself. You can't lead by yourself. You can't be in a relationship alone. You really can't even have morality by your own standard. And you definitely can't dominate when you solo. So that brings me to what we are as a Mancode is really a group of brothers. We are a brotherhood. And that's really important because I think in every stage in life, men especially, you need other men that you can be accountable to, that you can lean on, that you can actually have in your corner, that you can really trust. So I just really want to kind of break that down in terms of the term and the word brotherhood, because that can take on different meanings depending on your experiences. But going around, I just want to know, what does brotherhood mean to us? Anybody can take a stab at this.
Well, for me, it's it's a group of brothers, people coming together that have common interests, shared goals, things like that. And we're going to get into this pretty deep, but there's different levels to me of brotherhood, because sometimes people come together and say, yeah, man, we're a brotherhood, and we'll talk more about that later. But the short answer is a group of people come together, in my mind, for shared interests, common goals, and fellowship, things of that sort.
Nice.
Yeah, when I think about it, I was thinking about all the different pockets of male camaraderie that I've been around. I've been an athlete, so playing on teams has created somewhat of a brotherhood, part of a Christian fraternity, and that's created a brotherhood. Working with inside of the church or doing projects or things in which we're doing right now has created a brotherhood. And so each one of those have been formed differently, but all of them are essential to the growth and development of myself. So when I look at a brotherhood, I look at, to Pastor Crawford's point, the gathering together of people of like minds or initiatives or heart. I think brotherhood that's what I think of when I think about brotherhood.
I'll take a go at it. I think brotherhood is more of a relationship with the heavens. And if we talk about brothers, I look at, in this point, I start off looking at a relationship with God and how he has prepared us. And in saying that, it's the relationship we have with our brothers, keeping them well, keeping them in the spiritual lane, making sure that they don't fall astray, and just supporting each other one brother at a time as we go through this our walk.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I would definitely say I think brotherhood is a genuine connection among men where we can just kind of share our thoughts, share our interests like you guys are talking about, and really have a space to be honest and vulnerable with each other. I think one thing about men a lot of times is we're super guarded and we don't have a lot of trust in people, especially when it comes to like telling personal information about what we're going through. But, if we had that brotherhood where we could just, shoot a call, shoot a text, pop up at somebody's house and say, yo, this is what's going on. This is what I'm going through. I think that's a brotherhood, man. And also I think about like a lot of my friends from college, like, they were all in my wedding. I've been in their weddings, I've deemed myself as the uncle of some of their kids, right? So it's like, that's kind of what I define as a brotherhood, is just like that true, genuine, like deep relational connection with a group of men where y'all can just do life together. So
I like that. I like that. I like everything y'all said, because really your brotherhood definitely has different terms depending upon I want to use this term, the intimacy of that relationship. But really a brotherhood is really just that shared connection that you just form. Again, like you said, Pastor Malcolm, from common unity, from life experiences, from even different backgrounds. So brotherhood is really, it takes on many forms, but again, it's really that common joining together. When I think of a brother, I think of somebody that actually, and we're gonna get into this in a second, but I think somebody that's a little bit higher up than a friend. Because really with a brother is somebody that I've actually not only shared my life with, but I've gone through life experiences with. And there's been a support system there. There's been actually something in our lives that actually keeps us firmly grounded, but at the same time, that person holds me accountable. So that to me, that's brotherhood right there. So I'd like to thank y'all for being my brothers, because all of y'all have kept me in check at one time or another. So thank y'all very much. But one thing I want to look at too, and speaking of brotherhood versus friendship, is there a lot of difference really having a friend versus experiencing brotherhood? And if there is, really, how so?
Well, I want to jump on this because I just want to kind of piggyback off what you said about, I think you referenced that brotherhood being a little bit higher level than a friend. And that's interesting that you say that. And now I take a different position on that, because I see them as, in a sense, kind of congruent with one another. You can be a brother and you can be a friend, but it depends on me. I've been in many brotherhoods before, quote unquote brotherhood, but my personal, now this may not apply to you, but this is how I kind of deal with things like this. I value friendship as a little bit higher, on a higher level, because I can pretty much pick and choose my friends. Sometimes in a brotherhood, you are kind of grouped together by people for a common cause or whatever that may be. Like Brother Daniel said, it could be a football team, it could be whatever, and you group together, and then therefore you form those relationships and so forth. And then from there, you can develop your friendships on a more intimate level with some of the brothers that may be in that particular brotherhood, even though you want to connect with all of them. But with the brotherhood, like I say, it's not a negative thing. It's a great thing, of course. But for the brotherhood, you get around 30 or 40 people, you say, hey, we're in a brotherhood. Like you say, you may start off with 30 and before the end of the year, you got 6 left. You know what I'm saying? But with your friends, you can kind of know who you're going to roll with. You see what I'm saying? So I can have some friends in a brotherhood, but we can talk about levels, different covenants and so forth like that. But I'm all for brotherhood because it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing.
So I'm gonna jump in. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Pastor Crawford. But it's like, to me, a brotherhood has a covenant base to it, where a friendship has a mutual like, or to your point earlier, you said 2 people coming together with mutual interest or what have you, and through that develops a relationship that's deep, and that friend's a lifelong friend. A brotherhood, in a sense, though, you mentioned that 30 men. That brotherhood, though, but I could go to any of those brothers because of that brotherhood, and I can have an expectation that each one of them will hold me down through life. It's and I'm glad we're having this conversation, because it's almost like my first time even having a conversation about the difference between friendship and a brotherhood. So you have brotherhoods with individuals that you don't even realize. Like, for instance, every Black male is in a quote unquote brotherhood. If you see a Black male walking down the street, you do like this, they do like this. There's an unwritten understanding that I'm acknowledging somebody that is in a group of individuals that's exclusive. If I'm on the football team, or if I'm playing basketball, if I'm playing any kind of sport, the sport brings us together, but it is the battlefield that we're on to compete that actually causes that relationship to become more, because now it's life and limb. It's not just whether I like you or not. I'm dependent on you to have my back. I'm dependent on you to make a hole. I'm dependent on you to catch that ball. I'm dependent on you to set that pick. There's a level of dependency that I think that brotherhood creates, that not necessarily friendship. I would do anything for my brothers, and I would do anything for my friends. And so I think there's some similarities, but at the same time, I think that there's a deeper covenant commitment in a covenant brotherhood than in a friendship. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how, I actually love how both of y'all put that. And Donnell, what you were saying is kind of what I was thinking from the standpoint of like holding a brother to a higher regard. And I just simply put it like this: like, say something happens, and one of my close friends is there for me, right? I was like, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for being an awesome friend. Whereas if I'm talking to my brother, like, man, you are seriously one of my brothers. Like, I really appreciate it. Like, to me, the difference in I guess magnitude of how you say that, I think for me clearly defines how different those two titles are. Because a brother is, like you said, it's the battlefield, it's the trenches, it's the more, so much about me that a friend would know. Like, you can use friend loosely. Like, you can be walking down the street talking to somebody, see somebody, and say, oh yeah, by the way, this is my friend so-and-so, but you're not going to say, hey, this is my brother so-and-so, because it's like that word brother has a much different level of, I guess, like accountability, appreciation, and relationship to it than just the word friend. So, but I think sometimes it could be interchangeable, because everybody defines a friend different. Like, some people use it loosely, whereas some people use the term friend and guard it very close to their heart. So I think it all depends on individual preference on that one.
Yeah, and if I could just jump back in too, because like you said, you guys make some great points, and we could probably go with this all day, because I think we're seeing a lot of the same things. We just see a little bit different. As far as a brother, I see like a brother, let's say a blood brother, that you biological brother. Okay, you got that brother there. But I've just been around a lot of relationships, because like I said, even on the football team, I played sports all my life. And I had some guys, we had a great class in 1976, Bearcat, pride in the state. But however, with that being said, shameless plug. With that being said, I have some guys in that football team, I might go to a class reunion and we'll connect. And but I don't know if I could just call them and say, hey, dog, I need this, I need 50, I need 100. But if I got a friend, like Brother Fat, like I can call, he's like a brother to me and a friend. I can call Brother Fat right now. Hey man, and this here, if he got it, he gonna get it. You see, I don't, and that's where the brotherhood, I love it. There's unity, there's power in that. It has its place. But I'm like this, hey man, the Bible says, know those that labor amongst you. And you know, from roster 1 to 45, I don't know how you can go number 45 to get that, you see. So it's a difference. Like I say, it depends on your experiences and how you see it. So I would say, you know, it's just a matter of how you feel about it. And it's a good topic to discuss. And hopefully I can maybe change my perspective like you guys in the brotherhood. But I guess I've been challenged with the brotherhood because I've been in too many groups where you know, people say that I'm here for a season, and you see those people no more. You see, because I'm a type of person that if I'm with you, you can sense that I'm with you. And people tell you in a minute, hey man, we're brothers. Nah, man, you just somebody here for this time being. I could, you know what I'm saying? I've seen that too much. So maybe I'm a little jaded. Maybe I'm a little in that respect. I try to be open, give everybody a chance, but to make that real close connection, you know, I think if I got the scripture right, the Bible says our brother is born for the day of adversity. So can I call you when it's tight? You say, are you gonna pick your phone up? You know, I got friends, we got the 24-hour rule. Hey man, if I hit you up, get back with me in 24 hours. But if I call you, I don't want to wait 2 or 3 days to hear from you. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it depends on your relationship, but I like what you guys said. So, you know, it's a matter of where you're at, and I respect all opinions on that.
I think what you're sharing really is probably like the difference between what it should be and what it has become. And so I think, like you said, I mean, in different brotherhoods or whatever, I mean, you will find people who you gravitate more towards, who you have a deeper relationship towards. But I think in the overarching scope of what the classification of it is and what should it be, it should be something that if I'm included in that particular entity of brotherhood, that I should be, no matter where I am in my life, be able to call you and say, hey, I need support. I'm stuck over here. Can you come get me, or and vice versa. And so for me, it is I'm trying to be the brother in the brotherhood to continually keep what is supposed to be forward. So if you need me, I'm there for you. I'm the one that's saying, hey, we're brothers. I'm the one that's always saying that to people, even when they may be like what you're saying, maybe fair weather friends. They might be, you know, situational brothers, you know what I'm saying, where this was just a stage or phase in life. We did that, got the t-shirts, went to the conferences. I'm on and I'm gone, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But for me, because of how I view covenant, how I view relationships, for me, it's for life. It's for life. You tell me you're my brother, then I'm holding you to that. I'm holding
Can I
you to the plan.
And see, I love that what you just said, because see, for you and I to have that, we have to have a conversation, because you shared all that. I said, Danielle, you said a lot of good stuff. Let's sit down, let's talk. Let's cut this covenant, this brotherhood, and let's make sure that we're on the same page. I love it, you know, and I want to submit this thing with you. Then that's how I like to work. You said it. Now let's bring up, we have a private conversation. Let's see if we can come to an agreement on that thing. Hey man, if that's how you are, we pray on this thing. Before I lock in with you, there should be some prayer. There should be all that type of stuff, man, because, I think sometimes people may have they may be sincere at that time, but they may not just be cut like that. They may be feeling it at that time emotionally. Yeah, man, we brothers, we get hyped up. I do this for you, I do that for you. But are you serious? Because being my brother, I got some expectations. And I'm going to explain those. I'm going to define those out. Can you meet these? Now, that's how I roll. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right, I'll jump in if I can, and just add a little bit to it. I like the dialogue. It was a great question. My response to it would be this, growing up, as we hope, I think all of us did, we created this brotherhood friendship, if you will. But what stands out to me in that is the relationship that you have, the covenant, as I have heard. And how do we establish a covenant of trust? And that's knowing that that brother will be there. I think these words are more interchangeable than what we're thinking, because I hear the conversation and they are utilized in those different forms and formats. But What sets them apart to me is the relationship we have with God. If you are referring to your relationship in the brotherhood with Christ, that stands apart from the friendship that I have with the brotherly or friendship in the worldly sense is where I'm trying to go. I think that relationship of covenant, meaning agreement that we have established, you'll do everything. You'll do anything for the brother, for the brotherhood, I would say, except compromising the Lord.
Wow. Y'all broke that down so well. I almost don't want to say anything. But I got a little something to add on that. Now, Pastor Malcolm, you actually referenced, because I actually had this in my head. Proverbs 17:7. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for time of adversity. And I think really it is personal how you view a friendship versus a brother or a brotherhood. I think both terms get used too loosely. It's a lot of times, you know, like we refer to as we were kids, everybody's your friend. No, that's just your acquaintance because you don't know nothing about them. They said hi to you, you thought they were cool, so you know now we friends. Or even when you join into certain groups, growing up playing sports, yes, those guys on the team at that given moment in time, we formed a brotherhood based on common unity. But at the same time, that brotherhood was only existing, just like y'all referenced, for that given season. So when I think of that, I really think of it in terms of like an actual physical brother. Like I have a physical brother. Me and my brother don't talk every day. I have friends that I talk to more than my brother. But my brother can call me anytime and over anything. And guess what? I'm there for my brother. Some of you on this panel with me, we've gone through some things together. You know, hey, we got each other's back. We've been through some things. A brother will be that one that actually will stand in the gap and pray with you, pray for you, will cover you spiritually. But at the same time, just because the label brother is there doesn't mean that that level is high enough to really even have that friendship to associate you in my heart like a brother. So it is really no right or wrong with it, but I think it really needs a clear defining of what do you value in friendship and how do you take that to the next level and developing that into a brother, formulating a brotherhood. So no wrong points there. Y'all hit this very good. So I'm digging.
You're right. At the end of the day, we're commanded to love one another, right? That's at the end of the day. That's at the end of the day. So if you can love the brother or the friend, you're not going to lose at the end of the day.
But I will say, I think a brother is there more when you, for like the word says, that time of trouble. You know that person's true blue. When I need you to stand in the gap, you're gonna be there. You know, it's not gonna be a thing of, like you said, Pastor Malcolm, it ain't gonna be 2-3 days later. We on point, we know because we've established that in our lives. So that's great. Y'all broke that down very well. Kudos. But look at it like this. Because most men value loyalty, whether good or bad. And we all know this. But is loyalty enough to be my brother's keeper if it jeopardizes my character? And why?
No. You gotta value yourself overall. I think we talked about this in My Word is My Bond back in season 1.
Right.
And I still stay true to it. I think when you're faced with situations, you have to always measure with your course of action based on your level of integrity. And so I think your character and your integrity dictates, what you do and how you support, and maybe you support them from a distance or from afar, but you don't necessarily, you roll into my house and we were like, okay, I'm about to roll up on him. It's time to end this situation and be like, I'm going with you. but it's not going. My goal in going with you is not for the outcome to be the same. It's to make sure, because I'm your brother. There was a movie called The Count of Monte Cristo, and it was all about a man who was basically thrown away in prison, and he became basically this great pirate or whatever. But he had this guy, and he's like, I'm your man. he was like, I'm your man, to the point where I'm going to protect you from yourself. So I think part of your role as a brother is also knowing that you have to sometimes be there in order to protect them from themselves, to help them, navigate sometimes through rough waters when their emotions or when they're in situations that are tough. So.
Well, that's definitely said from a man with a lot of wisdom. Now, think about the foolish man, because I can think about the foolish MKC and the man today, MKC, because back in the day, hey, man, I did some things like, hey, man, I wasn't on that wise track as Brother Danielle was. But yeah, like you say, you just from lack of understanding or just the way you're brought up, not condoning that. But I was loyalty like that to a fault, man. I'm there. Okay, yeah, we got to go do such and such. Okay, I ain't gonna let you go by yourself. Now, is it wise? Of course not. Would I do it today? Of course not. So I thank God for his grace, his mercy, his wisdom. But today, looking back, I'm like, Brother Daniel, you gave a great way to handle it. Hey, man, I'm gonna go with you, but it's not for there to take it to another level. We're here to make this thing end well. So I definitely respect what you're saying. But back in the day, hey, as they say, it be what it be. You know what I'm saying? It lay like it lay. But now today, no, man, I'm not going with you. I'm not going to compromise my integrity. I'm not going to put my life in jeopardy. I don't want to put your life in jeopardy. So we come with a whole different mindset, the mind, I'm saying, a higher level of thought. So yeah, but I agree, man. But yeah, so loyalty, integrity, you can pervert integrity real quick out of loyalty, and you don't want to go that direction. But that's that lower mindset. You know what I'm saying? Pastor
Malcolm, no, you got these hands, and you got everything that come with them. So I'm there to help the situation in whatever way it needs to be dealt with. I'm just saying mentally though, it's like you have somebody who has a cool head versus somebody who is hot headed. So and in college, man, I had a lot of situations like that where I got you. You my brother. You know what I'm saying? This just doesn't require that. And had situations where I got you, and it was that situation. But and so it's just like. But I think once again, it's like just knowing that it's not always about getting physical. I mean, just being physical. It's not always about being physical.
Gotcha.
I think it can kind of go back to what Jonathan was saying earlier. I think Elder Fant was saying the same thing of kind of redefining like what a brother means, right? And I think that's where a lot of people get in trouble, because you can be in a situation where, like say one of your boys want to, pull up, do something crazy, and you're like, nah, I'm not a part of that. I don't want to do it. Then they'll pull I thought you was my brother card. Your brother's supposed to ride with his brother, supposed to do this, because there's like that worldly, fleshly view and definition of what a brother is. Whereas like if we were to like really redefine it to like what God says a brother is supposed to be, right? I think that's where we'll have like more men that are right standing, where we'll get loyalty in all the right places that holds us accountable to do all the right things. But because it's a term that is used so loosely, it's like, yeah, I'll be loyal to your foolish actions. So, it's unfortunate, but, I think it's, like I said, it's one of those things where we really have to redefine like what a brother is, what a brother is supposed to do, and even what a friend is and what a friend is supposed to do. And, anything that's harmful to ourselves or to society should not coexist with a brotherhood at any stretch of the imagination. So